Alrighty, Monday, May 13th, another slow session today. Well within our expectations, though. We had talked this morning during the pre-market prep live stream that it was expected to be a slow session, and that it was. The reason we had those low expectations are because, number one, there's no data today. No news coming out, no economic data coming out. But more importantly than that, we do have PPI tomorrow and CPI on Wednesday. So we have two major economic prints this week. So you have to think, if you're managing a large book, a large portfolio, what would be your motivation to move size the day before a big economic print? That's kind of the logic behind a slower session like today. So we come into the session knowing, or at least expecting it to kind of be a slower day. That means, you want to be very careful with how you're picking your spots. You want to be expecting lower volume. You may even just want to take a no trade day. Tends to be the norm if price is trading within that prior day's range, which was our main watch for today. So on ES, we come into the session wanting to see how price is going to trade versus that prior day high. It's going to be our primary reference point heading into the regular trading hours open, simply because we have this bit of a rally during that overnight session, right? Take a look at price. Where are we opening? Regular trading hours opening directly into prior day high, which for us is perfect because we can just watch the reaction versus that prior day high and know that if prior day high rejects, what is most likely going to happen? Well, we'll likely have, at the very least, the overnight gap being filled, and then potentially that move down into prior day low. And we see both of those scenarios pan out pretty much perfectly. And so as far as what we'll be looking at for tomorrow, well, now we just have an inside day, right? So we have price within the prior day's range. It is getting pretty tight here with just a 2-day range. Big picture structure remains bullish. Remember last Friday, 2 Fridays ago, the May 3rd, we had that breakout. Monday shows the follow through. You get the consolidation. You get the next leg higher on Thursday. Friday trades up into key daily resistance. We'll look at that in a moment. Now today, just within that range. So structurally speaking, does remain a range within the context of just a near-term trend higher. Right now, let's take a look at the daily because it's pretty interesting here. So price is coming into key area of resistance. Been talking about this Friday as well as this morning. This 5270 area, definitely some big time resistance through here. Right, look at the amount of sessions that respected this level, and then prior to that, it did hold as support. Prior to that, it was resistance. So we know 5270 is it's a significant level based on what we're seeing on the daily chart. Price obviously struggling with that upside resistance area. And then take a look at these two daily candles as well. This kind of tells us that buyers are a bit exhausted, right? Take a look at the large wicks on both of these candles. So main watch into tomorrow with PPI, I really want to see how is price going to be trading versus this 5230 area right through here, because sellers, based on this pattern right through here, based on this consecutive daily bar, sellers have a good opportunity to break 5230, potentially trade down into that year-to-date volume point of control and perhaps even lower. Now, if sellers fail to break that 5230, it really shows that buyers still have the ball, right? Here's a good opportunity for sellers to actually maybe not flush the market, but at the very least show a little bit of a pullback. Now, if they fail, that should be a big clue about the strength of sellers as of right now. So 5230 really going to be the main focal point for ES tomorrow heading into PPI. Mostly focused on whether or not sellers can take advantage of this daily setup right through here. Now let's jump over to NQ. So coming into the day, pretty similar approach. All right, let's take a look at the 30-minute chart here. We know that price on Friday failed that breakout. Here's a failed breakout attempt. You have essentially your range right through here, right? And this was following 3 days of rallying. Price takes a bit of a breather. Last week, Friday, attempted breakout, fails, back in the range, retest that near-term volume point of control. Okay, we trade higher this morning. Now kind of holding that 275 area, which was the main watch for today, as well as that prior day range. Remember, price tells a story. We always want to be looking at where is price coming from and where can price go. That's the entire purpose of this exercise that we do every single day, multiple times per day. So we get into regular trading hours open, price is trading near that prior day high. Now, this is an ideal scenario because we can just very simply look at the reaction versus that prior day high. Are buyers stepping up and paying up through prior day high, or is it rejecting? And if it's rejecting, again, where is price going to go? If resistance rejects, where's price going to go? Well, it's going to trade down into the next area of support. So we see the prior day high reject, right? So what does that tell us? Okay, well, sellers in control, at least in the intraday, in that initial wave lower, right? So we don't want to be trying any longs until support is tested and we have proof that support is holding. It's a basic sequence of how price unfolds. And so that's pretty much exactly what we see. Prior day high rejects, price trades down into 18,275, and then we just kind of churn. You have a couple of decent intraday setups in there if you're paying very close attention. But honestly, this is the type of day you just really just want to stay cash. Not missing out on any big opportunities on a day like today. Yeah, there's a couple scalp opportunities here and there, but better off to just save your mental capital and your trading capital for better conditions. So this is one of those risk off types of days, and that tends to be the norm anytime we're expecting that slower session, or even anytime price is strictly trading on an inside day. Here's your prior day range, right? And look at that range we have today. I mean, this is nothing. It's absolutely nothing. So as far as tomorrow, approach is going to be pretty similar. I do want to see how price is going to be trading versus today's inside day. So I'll have a particular focus on that 235, 200 area, essentially today's low as well as Friday's low. Let's have a look at that daily really quick. So NQ, I did note earlier this morning, NQ was showing big time divergence from ES. NQ was actually holding much better. So a little bit of relative strength in NQ versus ES. What we want to see now is how price is going to be trading versus this year-to-date volume point of control, and then that downside 18,200 area, which is Friday's low, but it's also last week's volume point of control. So a lot of volume done there at 200. That'll be a significant level. And again, the main thing we're looking to assess here is whether sellers are going to take this opportunity to offer any type of pullback on the higher time frame charts. Keep in mind, we are now 7-8 sessions higher in a row. So getting to be a bit extreme without a single red day. Just something to keep in mind. All right. So that's the recap for today. Overall, pretty slow session as expected. Again, on these days, it's about capital preservation. It's about not doing any damage to the account. Risk off type of session. All right. So let's see what we get tomorrow with PPI. Should bring a little bit of volatility, at least a better move compared to what we've been seeing the past couple of days. Then we also have Powell speaking tomorrow. And we also have CPI on Wednesday. So it should be an interesting couple of days here. Hope everyone had a good sesh. If you guys have any questions, feel free to shoot me a DM. Otherwise, I'll see you tomorrow morning for the prep. Later.